The 1300's been created because it's just bigger, and we sort of found after a bit of testing is that the 1130 wasn't quite slow enough. So for like bay style downwind runs, we wanted something that would go slower, but we wanted to hold that manoeuvrability that the S series is, I guess, well known for now. So yeah, this is just a slower foil. It's not designed specifically for flat water paddle ups, but it can do it. It can do flat water paddle ups. And it's our biggest foil, so it's what we're recommending for people to use for learning to downwind. It's not specifically for flat water. It is better for downwind because a little bump makes it so much easier. You don't need to be able to paddle up in the flat to make it a good downwind wing. So we'd prefer you to be able to turn it well than be able to paddle it up in flat. But look, it goes pretty good in flat water too. So see how it goes. Yeah, so it's a 9.5 aspect ratio, 1300 square centimeters. Its superpower is once it's up, it can turn really well. So, get our feet in the right position, 2 strokes to get rolling forward, sprint, pump, get speed, and then up and going. Paddle fast, pump, 1, okay, I'm up. I'm gonna take 2 more strokes, 1, 2, now I'm pumping away. So I've paired the 1300S with our largest fuse, so the large fuse and the 188 AR tail. The reason I did that was because that's going to create the maximum lift and the maximum stability. It does create a little bit of drag, so if you're wanting a little bit more glide out of your setup, you'd go a smaller tail. You could also go a smaller fuse. The smaller fuse is also going to increase the turnability, so you're going to get like more, radical turns, I guess. A smaller tail is also going to allow you to, turn harder and glide more. The shorter fuse is going to, not limiting the glide, but it means you have to do more pumps. So more pumps per distance, I guess. A longer fuse gives you a longer glide per pump, but you do lose that, that ability to turn sharper. This is the trick to get your 4 screws in without taking the bolts out of your mast. Boom. There it is. That's how we do it. We'll see how it goes dock starting. For not a beginner, but not much work done on it. What I found then, which was super interesting, 2 things I changed. One was the tail. The 150 AR versus the 188 AR. So the tail, the 150 AR versus the 188 AR. You can see the difference in size. The 188 allows you to glide at a slower speed. The 150 gives you more glide at a faster speed. So drag versus speed and glide. For me, dock starting, I found the 150 much easier than the 188 because I'm not very good at it and I need all the glide I can get. the speed wasn't an issue because I was running and jumping, and the speed of this was slow enough. So with a big front wing like the 1300, you might be better off using a smaller tail wing, smaller stabilizer. So for me, the 150 AR compared to the 188, you could see the difference. I paddled up on the 188. I could get the lift early, but I wasn't getting the same amount of glide that I was getting on the 150. So that to me was pretty interesting. The other thing we changed was we moved the foil further forward in the tracks because I wasn't getting my back foot behind the mast to get the pump to, pump away from it. So just it's about 2 or 3 centimeters further forward. That was giving me, because I was running and jumping on the board too far forward, I was nosediving. By moving the mast further forward, it gave me more lift, so I didn't nosedive and I could glide away. So yeah, 2 little changes that might help your Dockstart as well as the 1300S. Small wave surf foiling is super fun, and I think what foiling is really good for. So somewhere like the Great Lakes in the US, lakes over in Europe. I got some mates in Switzerland who are starting to foil surf in lakes, and they're doing it from downwind. But you could even just use a wing like the 1300S at the end of your downwind run, and you could paddle in on your stand-up or you could paddle in on your prone, and literally get up and just sort of pump around. And the beauty of the 1300S is you only need the 1 chip in, and because it glides and pumps pretty good, you can get lots of waves from 1 chip in. So you're maximising the time out of the 1 takeoff, which I think is really important. And really, foiling's awesome because you can do it anywhere. And places like Europe, the Great Lakes, they don't have surf all the time, but big foils make wind chops surfable. And that's what this 1300S does really well. So you could Dockstart into a little sort of downwind scenario and literally surf the waves. And then once you're done, you could walk back out to the dock and that's your chip in. So however you're chipping in, once you're up, you're maximising the time on foil, and you're actually getting energy from the small waves or white caps or chops, wind bumps, rather than having to wait. Or lucky enough we live here where there is surf most of the time, which is why I'm really bad at Dockstarting. But even when there's small surf, even away from the surfers, you can catch waves away from the surfers and not get in their way. So big wings allow you to surf stuff that was previously considered not surfable. So 1300S is our big wing that you can surf waves that aren't considered surfable unless you're on big foils.
We can't make Et puis c'est ça. Afrique, Africa, oh mère Afrique, oh gars Africa, Afrique, Africa, oh mère Afrique, oh gars Africa. Tous tes enfants éparpillés ici.
Yeah, so light wind winging, again, it's one of those things that, you know, sometimes the conditions don't line up like you hope them to. Today was supposed to be like 20 knots northeast. This morning it downgraded to 5 to 10. It's just starting to pick up now, looking a little bit better. But basically light wind wings, the big wing is a session saver. So you can be all rigged up, ready to go, and then the wind drops and you think, okay, I guess I'm just gonna wait for the wind to go. Instead, bolt on the 1300S and you're gonna go out anyway, you can have fun. I see a lot of guys down the lake, they go out and they're using small boards and big wings and big foils. Go big board as well. So big board, big foil, smaller wing, bit more maneuverable, and you're gonna have a lot of fun. So light wind winging is something that I'm kind of passionate about. I love winging in lighter winds because you get smoother waves, smoother conditions. So for me, the 1300S, especially when the waves are small, super fun because you can get up, you're not worried about getting up. And when there's, you know, headlands like this making the wind real fluky and sort of shifty and holy, the big foils, like the 1300S, makes it super easy. And I guess, you know, the S series being a good turner makes it super fun still, even though you're on a big wing.
Brésil, États-Unis, Porto Rico, Cuba, Jamaïque, Antigua. Brésil, États-Unis, Venezuela, Cuba, Jamaïque, Antigua. Lula.
The 1300S really is what I'm excited about it for, is getting people started on downwind foiling. So beginner downwind foil, you want a big foil just so you can get up and going. And the 1300S is epic for that because it's got a lot of surface area. It doesn't have the same glide as the R series, but it's not meant to. Once you're up, it's supposed to be a little bit easier to get up, a little bit more stable, and then once you're up, it still turns pretty well. So for me, the 1300S is as big a foil as I'd want to use downwind, whether for bay or ocean. But I do like using it, and I really like using it when I'm just doing sort of ins and outs. So I'll paddle up kind of into the wind and see how long I can pump out. And then once I'm out far enough, I'll stop, have a rest, or just turn around and go back in. Or usually stop and have a rest out the back, and then paddle up again on the inside and sort of zigzag and surf all the way in. And the benefit of it, because it goes so slow, you don't have to go that far out. And you can get like a 5-minute glide out of only going out like 500 meters. So surfing side to side when you're short on time and you can't do a car shuttle, I take the 1300S out and just literally play in the wind bumps, going super slow, left, right, turning, upwind, downwind, sidewind. Super different, but fun. Yeah, and then really for beginners, learning to paddle up in those sorts of conditions, I really do recommend not doing a full downwind run, just finding a little bumpy area like behind me and just going out and just working on your paddle up. Once you're up, try to work, like glide all the way to the beach And basically once you can do that, you know that you can then go send like a short 2 or 3 kilometre run. Once you can do that, you can come back to your bumpy setup like this, and you can start sizing down foils. So for the code range at the moment, 1300S, you then go down to the 1130S, you then go to the 860R. Once you get into that R series, you're going to feel that extra glide and I guess efficiency. But the 1300S is going to be much easier to paddle up, much more stable once you're up, and a little bit better for turning. So in summary, the 1300S is your low energy beginner foil. You can use it to learn to paddle up, you can use it to learn to Dockstart, you can use it in small, gutless, wind chop style waves, you can use it when the wind is too light to use any other foil. It's a good foil that gets you going in low energy, and it's going to be great for beginners because you're going slow. So the 1300S is a foil that you can use in places you wouldn't think were downwindable. So I've had a lot of people hit me up say, can I downwind in lakes in Europe? Can I downwind in lakes in the Central West in the US? Can I downwind in lakes with short fetch? And basically the answer is if you're going to do that, you need to use a big foil. The 1300S is that. It makes small conditions surfable, rippable, and you're going to get power from them. So try the 1300S out. They're hitting shots now. Enjoy.
Prenez ça. Amusez-la.
Right. Yeah. That was ugly, but it was done. Nice.